Caught on camera, two TSA agents appearing to grope passengers at Denver International Airport. Take a look at this video. You can see them inappropriately touching passengers. Investigators fired the employees after seeing this video.
But as Kris Van Cleave reports, the pat-down controversy is just one of many scandals surrounding the TSA.
Airport authorities believe this just-released security camera video of a TSA checkpoint at Denver International shows TSA officers Ty Spitka and Yasmin Shafi working together to manipulate the screening process, allowing Spitka to fondle male passengers back in February. Watch as Spitka is believed to fondle this passenger. Then moments later, a second male passenger gets patted down. According to a TSA employee who reported the pair, Shafi would cause the scanners to identify a male passenger Spitka found attractive as female, triggering the machine to detect an anomaly in that passenger's genital area, allowing Spitka to perform a pat-down. 3 months after that tip, the TSA began an investigation, eventually firing the pair, but potential victims weren't able to be identified and no charges were filed. The video's release comes just days after an incident at New York's LaGuardia Airport that now has TSA officer Maxi Okendo facing sexual abuse and harassment charges for allegedly groping a 21-year-old female foreign exchange student from Korea in an airport bathroom. Prosecutors say Okendo told the woman he was screening her for weapons. Okendo was fired by the TSA. In a statement, the agency says it holds its employees to the highest standards.
Kris Van Cleave joins us now from Reagan National Airport. Kris, this alleged groping incident is just one of the many issues the TSA is dealing with. So how is the agency preventing this and other cases like this from happening again?
Well, the TSA has a new administrator, and one of his objectives has been to address many of the issues that the TSA has been dealing with over the last 6 to 12 months. That includes retraining of officers. Really, in this situation, the system worked. It maybe took longer than investigators would have preferred, than administrators would have preferred, but this incident was reported by another TSA officer. It was investigated by the TSA. These two officers were caught in the act and were fired. They got criticized for the fact that it was reported 3 months before the follow-up investigation. So that's certainly something that the TSA wants to look at if they can improve their responsiveness to these types of complaints. But it is also a huge, sprawling agency, and like any government bureaucracy, is not necessarily the most efficient at responding to things.
Kris, just over the past year, we've seen a lot of controversy surrounding the TSA. What changes can we expect to see when it comes to cases like this and security breaches as well?
All right, so a host of issues with the TSA. We saw that report where undercover teams were able to bring all kinds of prohibited items through checkpoints, something like 95% of the time. So the TSA is retraining and looking at if they need to make changes to equipment, if there needs to be software changes to scanners. They're also changing TSA PreCheck a little bit. That is the expedited screening that people that have already gone through a background check can get. For a while, they were letting non-TSA PreCheck cleared people use that as well. They are backing away from that. So that should address some of the security issues. There's also been retraining and continued emphasis on if the employees see something that doesn't appear to be proper conduct, to report it. And that's what happened in this case. Again, it maybe took 3 months for the investigation to find that there was a problem here, but it was reported by another TSA officer. One of the complaints from the rank and file is that this agency suffers from multiple and sometimes competing missions. One mission is to get people through the security checkpoints as quickly as possible, while having the unenviable task of making sure that nothing gets past those security checkpoints, and trying to do that efficiently to keep the lines moving and thoroughly are competing interests.
Kris Van Cleave at Reagan National. Thank you, Kris.
Sure thing.